Hello, I'm Ken with Orion Telescopes and Binoculars, and this is the Orion CT80 Equatorial Refractor. First off, it's an 80mm refractor, a nice short, they call it CT, compact tube, short f4, 400mm focal length. So very wide field, very like a rich field telescope. So great for larger objects in the night sky, star clusters, Andromeda Galaxy. That's one of my favorite views, is through an 80mm short refractor like this. The Messier objects, as long as you can get away from the city lights, most of the Messiers would be within reach of something like this, as well as moon and planets too. So you pop a little bit higher power eyepiece onto this, and you can see the rings of Saturn, moons of Jupiter, all sorts of fun things in the night sky. So let's get in and look at some of the features of the Orion CT80. The scope sits on top of this equatorial mount, and it is designed to track along the night sky with some object that you found. So the idea is you polar align it. You point this axis here towards the North Pole. So you aim this north, and then there's a little latitude scale on the side to input your latitude, and that tells you how high Polaris is above the horizon. Once that's done, you can unlock it here and here, move the telescope around to position it close to where you want to look, and then when you lock it down, you've got these slow motion control knobs to fine-tune the positioning. So let's say the moon is somewhere over in this area. I'll just use the knobs here to get it right in the field of view. And then as long as you are polar aligned, the knob here on the side on the right ascension axis is all you need to do to spin to follow something in the night sky. So if you're looking at the moon, you just twist this knob occasionally to recenter the object, and it stays in the field of view. The scope comes with several accessories. First off, a finder scope to help aim it. The field of view of the main telescope is pretty wide, but it's still nice to have a finder scope to help get you in the vicinity. This is a reflex sight, so the idea is when you look through it, you'll see a little red dot floating in the night sky. You just put the dot right on the object you want to see, and as long as it's calibrated with the little adjustment screws on the side, the object that's under the dot will be right in the eyepiece here. Speaking of the eyepieces, it comes with a 90-degree star diagonal first, so when you're looking straight up in the sky, you have a comfortable angle to look through instead of having to climb underneath them and look straight up. And you get two eyepieces, a 25 and a 10mm eyepiece. The higher the number, the lower the power. So your 25 is your lowest power. It's 16 power with a scope like this. And then your 10 is going to be 40 power. The scope tops out at about 120 to 150 power, somewhere in there. So you can always add on more eyepieces to zoom in even closer. So it's a nice way to upgrade the scope and get further use out of it. Underneath the equatorial head is the tripod itself. It's constructed out of aluminum, so it's nice and sturdy. And in the middle is this tripod tray, and it's got several holes cut out. So whatever eyepiece you're not using, or maybe if you end up with a Barlow lens, you can slip the additional eyepieces in there, and they're ready to go when you want to pull them out and stick them into the telescope. And then on the bottom of the feet, you've got your choice of either the rubber pad, or if you unscrew it and raise it up, you've got a spike which will grab into grass or dirt a bit better than just the rubber sitting on the soil. Fully assembled, the telescope weighs just under 15 pounds, so it's nice and portable. It breaks apart into smaller pieces too, so you can take the tube off. This is a clamshell here, it comes out. The tray, once you take that out, the legs fold up and makes it nice and compact. All right, well there you have it. This is the Orion CT80, a nice, affordable, lightweight, easy to transport telescope designed for looking at all sorts of objects in the night sky. Thank you very much. Clear skies. Hello, I'm Ken with Orion Telescopes and Binoculars, and this is the Orion CT80 Equatorial Refractor. First off, it's an 80mm refractor, a nice short, they call it CT, compact tube, short f4, 400mm focal length. So very wide field, very like a rich field telescope. So great for larger